Forward. Joining us on the broadcast is our esteemed panel, Mr. Guruprakash Paswan, who's the national spokesperson of the BJP, Dolly Sharma from the Congress Party, Ravi Srivastav, who's a political analyst, Raj Gopalan, who's a senior journalist. We also have Abhinandita Mathur, who's the spokesperson of the I.N.D.I.A party, joining us on the broadcast. Good evening to all of you, and thank you so much for joining us here on Viewpoint today. Abhinandita ji, I'd let you open the debate today and let you open the arguments. Alka Lamba made a statement that can be construed one way or the other. The Congress party says it was a generic statement and we ought to be prepared for a fight on any of the seat that may eventually the Congress party may fight. It was a generic statement. But the reaction of the I.N.D.I.A party establishes that there is a deep mistrust that prevails between the two parties. How can you be allies in any sense?
Good evening to your viewers. Look, alliance coming together is a complicated matter, and there are different kinds of netas who are going to speak their mind from time to time. It does not take away from the fact that the India alliance is collective, it's together, and as the senior leadership of the Congress also clarified, there seems to be no problem as of now. Of course, we will have to work out how the seat sharing, etc. works, but that is, we'll take that in our stride. That has to happen. And as far as the alliance is concerned, as far as our commitment to save the constitution, to save how our freedom fighters envision the country, and to ensure that, we actually come back on the track of development, we will come together and fight. And this alliance is not merely about the I.N.D.I.A party or the Congress or the NCP or any other party. This alliance is actually coming together of all the people who want to save the country. From BJP's divisive politics, from BJP's corrupt politics and so on. So I think there is no problem. All's good in the hood. And yes, and if there is something, we would be the first to say, but, don't put words in our mouth. There is no problem.
But I don't think I have to put words into anybody's mouth for the simple reason that the political parties are bearing it all. So I think there is hardly any need for the journalists to do anything beyond what they are saying. But Dolly Sharma, what explains the kind of statement that came from, say, Alka Lamba? She said we have to be ready to fight on all the seats. And our sources also indicate that within the Congress party, there is a big section of people, a big section of leaders who believe that I.N.D.I.A party is a wholly unnatural ally. You cannot have any kind of seat sharing agreement with them in the national capital, and that could be just a moot problem. That could be just the beginning of the problem in various other states where the regional satraps may want to flex their muscles. Dolly ji.
Yeah. See, as clarified by Deepak Babaria ji yesterday, the meeting was related to the organizational setup of the Congress party, and we discussed in the meeting, it was discussed about the organizational related things. And also Alka Lamba ji, also I think you're confused somewhere. She did not say anything that we are going to fight alone. We are not doing India, nothing like that.
No, she did not use the word alone, and she did not say that we are going to leave the India alliance together, but she said...
Yes. Give me 10 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. And see, any party, whether it is I.N.D.I.A party, whether it is BJP, whether it is Congress party, any party for that matter is preparing for 2024. Right? Seat sharing is to be decided. Is to be decided by the party's president, organizational head, K.C. Venugopal, and there was no such statement from Mallikarjun Kharge ji, from K.C. Venugopal ji, or for that matter from Rahul Gandhi ji. India alliance is intact. This fight is to save the constitution. We are fighting to save the constitution, and we will. This India alliance is intact. There is no problem with the alliance.
Well, a healthy, Dolly ji, a healthy opposition,
is preparing for it.
A healthy, formidable opposition is in the interest of any democratic nation. So I believe everybody would be happy if the opposition puts up a good fight against the present government, and people have more options when they go and cast their ballot. The problem is that it's too vague and abstract at this point in time. When it comes to the real tangibles of seat sharing agreement, what is going to be the formula which is going to be discussed on the table. And each time there is even a discussion of a seat sharing, we see these political bickering or political fights break out in the public. Guruprakash Paswan, how do you see your worthy opponents? They argue this is about saving the constitution of the country, and they can bury their political differences because they have a bigger enemy to fight.
A very warm good evening to you, Anusha, and all my fellow panelists. And I was patiently listening to the Congress party spokesperson, and I was waiting for her to speak that the Congress party has officially disowned the statement of Alka Lamba. She did not say anything like that. The Congress party could have tweeted that we have nothing to do with the statement made by Alka Lamba. So this shows that there is absolutely lack of clarity, lack of consensus, and the only glue, the only common thread, Anusha, that unites the entire opposition is the lust for power. There is no niti, there is no niyat, and there is absolutely no netritva. Who is the face? What is your vision document? What are you offering to the people of India? Making rhetorical statement like the Constitution bachao, Samvidhan bachao. On the other hand, the center of I.N.D.I.A alliance, which is the Congress party historically is responsible for imposing emergence in this country. And the Congress party is beating around the bush and saying that no, we are going to save the Constitution. This is all rhetoric. People of India needs answer. People of India needs a vision document. People of India needs a face. Who is your leader? Period. There is absolutely no consensus. And Anusha, you would remember that only yesterday we remembered Bharat Ratna, former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. And the reason I'm mentioning Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji today is because Gadbandhan Dharma. Coalition is akin to Dharma. Gadbandhan Dharma, it was introduced in the Indian political lexicon by Bharat Ratna, former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. And we still remember, N.D.A won 1999 to 2004. He ran effectively a coalition of 26 political parties, and all the political parties were diametrically polar opposite to each other. We had Mamta Didi, we had Farooq Abdullah, and so on and so forth. So that is the idea of alliance. On this hand, the so-called I.N.D.I.A alliance, the India alliance, there is absolutely no clarity on anything at all.
Right.
And
on the question of leadership, I will bring in Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, and then I'll go to Mr. Rajgopalan and Ravi Srivastava as well. They've been patiently listening to the discussion. But